Welcome into One-on-One on Ocean Student Radio KXUY Sunlink Channel 112. We are live on Facebook, Logan.
Yep.
We're live from Studio 318 on the beautiful campus of Oklahoma State University. It's Friday, which means one thing. Tomorrow is college football.
Yes.
My favorite thing, college football.
Even more than Chiefs football?
I get a little bit less stressed about this.
Okay.
I don't enjoy watching Chiefs football because I'm stressed from the kickoff until the clock hits zero. It's hard for me to watch, but I watch every single one. But we'll get into the Chiefs later. We'll get into Oklahoma State at the bottom of this segment. But let's start with college football and the number one team in the country.
Okay.
Alabama at Arkansas. Do you have the lines pulled up right now?
Yeah, okay, I've only seen Alabama, so it's minimized. I won't see any more. Go ahead.
Minus 35.5 point favorite in Fayetteville. The over-under is 57.5. Alabama's going to hit the over by themselves in the first half.
They almost did last week.
I don't want to compare the University of Arkansas football team to the University of Louisiana Ragin' Cajuns, but I will.
Yeah.
Arkansas is not good. Now, we always say that when a team's pitted like that, they're such a big underdog and no one respects them, rightfully so. They have a little fight in them. They might have a fight for the first 5 minutes, but Nick Saban, Tua Tagovailoa, and the Alabama Crimson Tide, that's going to hurt to watch.
Yeah, if you're an Arkansas fan, for sure it's going to hurt. But, I mean, if you're a University of Alabama fan or a student there, you probably don't even watch it all.
Oh, yeah, I have a lot of fans that go to U of A, and I'm not so sure. They might try and show up, but they're not going to stay very long if they make it to the game.
Yeah, did you see the crowd at their game last week?
All 17 of them?
Yeah.
They just made a big renovation or addition to their stadium and closed it in, and yikes.
Yeah, you think not good. You think they'd get a bigger crowd than that, being that they're the University of Alabama.
SEC. SEC. Yeah, it's working out well for you in Fayetteville, 1-4. That's why you don't hire a coach from SMU that's proved nothing.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what Arkansas expected, but they are going to get destroyed tomorrow. I think Alabama covers, and I think they go over by themselves. That's how bad it's going to be.
Do you think how many quarters does Tua play? How long does he play?
2.
A whole half?
2.
Yeah.
He'll play the first half. In an SEC game, he'll play the first half.
What's the first game where we're going to see him play the whole game?
I would probably. I mean, I don't know because
the SEC championship game.
I mean, he would play the full game against Auburn. I would think, but I would have to look at Alabama's schedule to know. You know, they've already beat A&M at home. Obviously, their next 2 games are Arkansas and Mizzou. Laughable. Tennessee, a joke.
Yeah.
But the first week in November, LSU at LSU.
I would expect him to play that game.
And that will absolutely be a night game.
Yeah.
A night game in Death Valley. That's going to be, I think Alabama's a lot more talented there. Obviously a lot better coach than LSU, but that's still going to be a tough game because no one goes in to Death Valley and dominates. Very rarely.
Yeah.
Next game we're going to get into is number 5 Florida at number 22, or number 5 LSU, excuse me, at number 22 Florida. They're going into the swamp.
Okay.
Do you know who's the favorite in this game?
I'm going to guess LSU's the favorite.
Minus 2.5.
Okay, I was going to say 3.5. So.
I don't know that LSU goes in and wins this game.
You don't think so?
No. Florida wins on a late field goal. Ed Orgeron does not have the number 5 team in the country. Maybe talent-wise. They're top 5 in talent, but Ed Orgeron is not elite enough to go in and beat Dan Mullen in the swamp. And I don't think Florida's super good, but things are going to click with Dan Mullen. He's an offensive guy. He was the offensive coordinator there with Tim Tebow. Things are going to click with Felipe Franks, and it starts Saturday in Gainesville.
I don't know. I don't know if I can agree with that. I think LSU's going to go in there and win that game. I mean, we saw did Kentucky play Florida at Florida, or was it at?
It was in the swamp.
I mean, we saw Kentucky go in there and kind of take care of business.
That was, 2 games into Dan Mullen? Now we're a month and a half in.
Does that much time make that much of a difference, though? Especially like
absolutely.
The talent gap. When you look at LSU.
I don't know that there's a super big talent gap with LSU and Florida. There's some down teams in the SEC, but when you look at Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Florida, all of those teams, even Tennessee has elite talent. Texas A&M has elite talent. It doesn't always reach its max potential, and none of them have good coaches besides Alabama. I think Gus Malzahn's really coaching Kirby Smart at Georgia. Outside of that, And Dan Mullen's going to get there. He's done really well at Mississippi State the past few years. But other than that, there's not an elite coach in the SEC. SEC fans like to build up. They have great tradition, and they have a lot of talent there. But you look at the coaches, how many have been fired since Nick Saban got hired? Nick Saban has effectively killed everyone else in the SEC.
Yeah.
To the fact where LSU thinks they've got it made with Ed Orgeron. A guy who couldn't win at Ole Miss? I don't buy into Ed Orgeron. He's a great position coach. He's not a great head coach.
Okay.
Gators late by a field goal.
I can't agree with you on that. Normally I follow your logic and I can see where you get there, but I don't know how you got there. We'll have to see. We'll see on Saturday.
Now a favorite game that we're going to talk about.
Yes.
Number 13 Kentucky. The undefeated Wildcats are 5-0. Going to College Station, the Jimbo Fisher coached Aggies. How many weeks in a row have I said Kentucky's going to lose?
I think 4 or 5.
Let's go. Let's just cut it clean at 3.
Okay.
3 weeks in a row I've called for the Wildcats to lose. I'm right this week. Kentucky, listen. Florida, I know I said it's going to be tough for LSU to go in the swamp and win, but College Station, Kyle Field is a different environment. And they have an elite coach in Jimbo Fisher. He has a national title. They went toe-to-toe with Alabama for 3 quarters. They matched up with them physically. No one else in the country can do that besides Georgia probably. For 4 quarters, match up with the physicality of Alabama. Texas A&M was able to do that in Tuscaloosa. Sure, they lost the game, but they proved something to me then. Jimbo Fisher is going to dominate Mark Stoops and the Kentucky Wildcats. It's not even close. A 6 o'clock game at Kyle Field, that's laughable. That's why Texas A&M's a 6-point favorite.
Yeah, all these weeks you've been saying Kentucky's going to lose, and all these weeks I've been picking against you, no matter what stats you throw out there. And I'm going to do it again. Kentucky's going to go in there at night and beat Texas A&M.
Kellen Mond, 89 of 148, 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns so far. No.
He's going to get it done.
Yeah, Kellen Mond is going to get it done for Texas A&M. He's going to.
No, Kentucky's going to get it done.
Kentucky doesn't have a chance.
Okay, you've been saying that for a while though.
Kyle Field and Jimbo Fisher. No.
It's kind of superstition at this point. I'm just going to pick against you, and Kentucky's going to win again. As long as you keep picking against Kentucky, they're going to keep going out there and beating these guys.
Well, after about 9:30 on Saturday night, Kentucky fans are going to realize, yeah, we are a basketball school. Let's go to Rupp Arena and let's watch some hoops because this isn't great. And I will sit here on Monday and go, see, I told you so.
After you've had to apologize past couple of weeks?
I apologized once, and I'm not doing it anymore. I do not buy into the Wildcats. I will not buy into the Wildcats. On to our next game, which is the number 6 Fighting Irish at Virginia Tech, Virginia Tech lost to Old Dominion. Then they went to Duke, who was ranked 22 at the time, but we all kind of feel how you use the Duke basketball school argument, which works perfectly for my Kentucky argument.
Yeah, but Kentucky keeps winning, so that doesn't work. It doesn't
Up
work
until
until
last
they
week,
lose.
Duke was winning. They're just 1 week delayed from Duke.
You don't know that.
I do
Are you
know
from
that.
the future?
Listen to my other show, and yes, I am. I have a time-traveling segment. I'll tell you into the future, Logan.
I think you're from an alternate future. I think you're from a scary future.
I didn't say which future I was from, but I just said I could go there. So the Fighting Irish going into Blacksburg.
Okay.
I like to build up these home field advantages. You know that. I just did it. Blacksburg, Virginia Tech at night is another game where it's hard to go in there and win. I know they lost to Old Dominion, but they are still a good football team. Brian Kelly on the road is going to get flustered, the Fighting Irish. I don't buy the win over Stanford as being that important, and you know how I feel about Michigan. They have good wins, but not great wins. They go down by 10 points Saturday night in Blacksburg.
By 10 points?
By 10 points.
What's the line?
That's a good question. Probably not 10 points. 7.5 Notre Dame right now. 7-point favorite for the Fighting Irish. They don't cover. They don't win.
You're taking a 17-point swing the other way.
Hokies by 10.
I can't follow. I cannot follow how you get here. Again, I try to follow your logic and at least see how you got there. I don't see how you're getting there. You know how I feel about Michigan. Obviously, I think that's a great win for Notre Dame, and I'm on your side with the Stanford deal. I don't even think they should have beat Oregon.
No, they shouldn't have.
A couple of weeks ago, but it's hard for me to pick against a team, like to pick for a team that loss to Old Dominion, the greatest upset in at least 10 years.
Yeah, that was not a good win for Virginia Tech.
I think Virginia Tech, the only thing Virginia Tech has proven is how inconsistent they are. So, I mean, I don't even know who I'm getting this week.
Well, I mean, they've won. They're kind of like Oklahoma State. They've won 10 games a few years in a row. They are a good program. They will bounce back, and they are going to win Friday night.
We'll see.
All right, now let's get into – we'll have to speed this up quickly because we got some Big 12 games, and we're going to mention something about Oklahoma State.
Okay.
Auburn at Mississippi State.
Taking Auburn.
Auburn, I can get behind that. And number 15, Michigan, is hosting Maryland. Maryland's 3-1, but I don't think – they beat Texas, but I don't think that they lost to Temple. So you think that the Wolverines get it done Saturday night?
Yeah. I said it earlier in the week. I think Michigan's gotten better each week, and I think they're going to show that.
Despite having to come back from 17 to beat Northwestern and winning by 3, you think they're getting better?
I think they're going through challenges, and they're learning from them, and they're getting better.
I think they've been going through challenges with Harbaugh since the day he arrived, and I don't know that the conflicts that come up with him as a coach, I don't think that it changes. All the big experts in this country, now they're wrong a lot of the time. You and I are wrong a lot. Mm-hmm. But I don't know one big analyst in this country that thinks Jim Harbaugh can win a national championship at Michigan. You
said they've been wrong a lot.
And I'm not saying...
I can't prove it any other way. I can't point to anyone that does think he will win one, but I just feel like they're getting better. And I think they're going to be big trouble for teams like Ohio State later in the season.
So he finishes this season 3-7 against his biggest rivals instead of 1-9.
Yes.
Oh, well, things are really changing, I guess.
They're getting better.
All right, let's go and jump into the Big 12 really quickly. The Red River rivalry. It's hard to say.
It is.
By the way, to that bar in Dallas or Austin, wherever it is,
Mama
Garth Brooks went to Oklahoma State University, not the University of Oklahoma. That's Toby Keith. By the way, he didn't graduate from there, but that's their country star. Ours is an alumni. He's ours. So when you do your marketing stuff, check the facts. Anyway, on to the Red River rivalry. Number 19 at OU. Can they contain Kyler Murray long enough for 4 quarters to win?
No. Texas' defense has kind of been their strong suit the past couple of years. They're not ready for this. They weren't ready for Baker. They're definitely not ready for Kyler.
I think you're right. I think it's an interesting first half, but they can't contain him for 4 quarters and he gets loose. The Kansas Jayhawks are going out to West Virginia. 27.5-point favorites are the Mountaineers. I would say they cover and some.
Yeah.
Prayers up for the Jayhawks. They're going to be like the Razorback this weekend. It is going to get ugly and ugly fast. Kansas State at Baylor, a snooze fest, but who wins that one?
Kansas State.
I'll go Baylor since they're in Waco. Matt Rule is getting there eventually. Now, we have a couple minutes left here. Oklahoma State, 2:30 at Boone Pickens Stadium against Iowa State, one of my least favorite Big 12 teams. David Montgomery is questionable. They don't know who's starting at quarterback. It's Seb Nolan or the guy they started the season with. We don't know who's going to start there. We don't know if David Montgomery is going to be healthy. But assume the best quarterback starts and David Montgomery is relatively healthy. What do the Cowboys need to do to win on Saturday afternoon?
Run the football. Hand it off to that guy, Justice Hill. Everyone else in the Justice League, as Robert calls it. And let Cornelius get out there and run. I think he's more comfortable when he gets a couple QB runs under his belt. And I think that'll just help the flow of the game. Run the ball.
Iowa State has a very good defense. If they could, like you said, if they can run the ball and just go out and get what they want, it's going to be an easy day. But I don't think that's going to be the case. I think it's going to be tough sledding. I think it's a close game.
Yeah, I think we'll know early what kind of game it's going to be.
We need turnovers because Iowa State's offense is not very good. Their defense is one of the best, if not the best, in the Big 12. So if this offense can run the ball and get some points, I don't think there's a lot of points scored tomorrow. But if they can do that, I think Oklahoma State has a good chance.
Yeah.
So we do have to take a quick break. We will be right back after a word from our sponsors. You're watching One-on-One on
One-on-One
OCC
is
Radio,
brought to you
KXUI,
by
Suddenlink, Channel 112.
Tinker Federal Credit Union. Visit Facebook.com/TinkerFCU. While you're there for your family, we're there for you. Tinker Federal Credit Union. And OSU Communications. Not sure where to park? OSU Communications has got you covered with parking tips and bus schedule information. We'll be right back.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
Cash for Crazy to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of Downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.
Welcome back to One-on-One on OSU Student Radio KXUI, Sunlink Channel 112. I'm Reed Spencer, joined by my co-host Logan Mosier. We're live from Studio 318 here at Oklahoma State University. Last night, Logan, Tom Brady threw his 500th NFL touchdown to
Josh Gordon.
Josh Gordon, his first as a
the
Patriot.
number one Patriot of all time.
As the Patriots beat the Colts 38-24 in Foxborough, Brady moves to 10-1 on Thursday night. Now they're 3-2. It's October. The Patriots are back. The sky is not falling. Shocker, like we said earlier. That is their worst month is September. They were going to be fine. They are fine. They're going back to the Super Bowl probably because that's just what the Patriots do. Did you learn anything new about the Patriots or the Colts last night? Yeah, we knew the Colts weren't very good.
Yeah.
So the Colts did show some fight.
Yes.
They did come back. They were down, I believe, 21 or something at one point, 24-3 or whatever it was. They came back and made it a game before Tom Brady just put it away. Sonny Michel had a good game, 18 carries, 98 yards.
Sonny Michel's kind of figured out how to play football again, it seems.
Yeah, and Eric Ebron had a big night. He had a ton of fantasy points against me. Great.
Yes.
In one of my 3 leagues, I can't even remember which one it was.
Not ours. I have him in ours.
Yeah.
He was on my bench.
Yeah.
I'm good at benching guys.
I think it was my Yahoo league where he went off against me.
Well, I mean, no T.Y. Hilton in this game.
Yeah, he was also on my team in that league.
Oh, that's unfortunate, Reed.
It is unfortunate. It's a lot to keep track of. But, Tom Brady, the 500 touchdowns, shocked it took this long. It feels like he's had 500 for a long time now. He joins Brett Favre and Peyton Manning. Drew Brees, I think he's away.
On the way. Yeah.
Monday night. He's going to get there at some point this season. So that is a big accomplishment for Tom Brady. Obviously, what matters is the rings. He has 5 of them, the greatest of all time.
Yes. I want to ask you a couple questions about some guys on the Patriots. One is Josh Gordon. Is Josh Gordon kind of the thing they were missing? They were missing a deep threat. They traded away Brandon Cooks. Has Josh Gordon become that guy?
For a month until he's off the team. So I don't care how well he played last night. What has Josh Gordon proven for an extended period of time? He has not been able to get it together. So why, in the most strict locker room in the league, do I think that Josh Gordon's going to be successful?
He hasn't shown anything. I'm just wondering if you think maybe
he is what they need. You're looking at that player right there. He is what they need, and he can help them a lot. Yeah. They're dangerous with him. You look what they did with Randy Moss, Brandon Cooks. When they've had that deep threat, they are dangerous. But I don't know that Josh Gordon makes it out of.
You don't think he even makes it to the end of the year? Do you think that?
When has he?
Yeah, I mean,
John Dorsey's the most relaxed GM, and he finally had it with Josh Gordon. What's he going to do in New England? I don't see it working out.
You don't think he's excited about winning games and kind of decides, I'm going to keep it together as long as I can. Maybe that is the end of the year. Maybe it's next week.
Well, if that's what it takes for that guy to be great, I don't want him on my team anyways. I mean, there's a lot of guys in Cleveland that are frustrated.
Yeah. But
Look at Jarvis Landry. He still has the drive.
But he came. They're winning now. They're in a better situation now than they were when Josh was there.
But yeah, they're turning the corner. So he's dealt with that crap this long. Why won't he just stick it out when they're starting to turn the corner?
I think it's also the feel of the franchise. When you're looking at the Browns, their reputation is that they're awful, and they're kind of turning that corner. The Patriots are known for nothing more than winning, winning, winning. That's all they do. And he's sitting. I think he has a locker next to Tom Brady. Is that correct?
Yeah, he is.
So you don't think having Tom next to him and the system, they've put a lot of guys in that Patriot system that other guys, they couldn't make it work anywhere else, but they made it work in New England. You don't think Josh Gordon can be one of those guys?
I mean, it's possible, but what has he done so far that would make me think that way?
Nothing, but
I mean, I'm not saying that he's definitely gone by November, but if it happened,
you wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if he made it to the end of the year.
Okay.
But it's likely. Both cases are likely. I mean, anything can happen with him. But for me, looking at what he's done throughout his career and how it ended in Cleveland, why?
Yeah, I can understand that. Another guy I wanted to ask you about played his first game last night of the season, Julian Edelman. What does him coming back do for the offense? How does that open it up for everyone else like Gronk, Josh Gordon, and even Sony Michel?
I mean, it just adds another element that you have to worry about. Now it's not so much focus on Gronk. Look at it has been the first 4 weeks. Chris Hogan hasn't played well, but you look now Edelman and you add Josh Gordon in there. It's a nightmare. And you have the greatest quarterback of all time. They're going to pick you apart. They're back to being New England. It sucks if you play the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chiefs go to Foxborough next week. Yeah, fun stuff.
I
right?
might finally pick against the Chiefs. That might be the first
you're
time
not going to pick. You're not going to pick against them, and I'm not going to pick for them. That's not the way this has worked so far, and I will not let you do anything different. Dolphins at Bengals. The Dolphins got throttled by the Patriots last Sunday. The Bengals are 3-1. I think we're both taking the Bengals.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's just elite, huh?
I don't want to say that. I don't want that on tape forever.
So. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I think that Ryan Tannehill's got more talent, but Andy Dalton didn't get me 0 points in fantasy last week.
Yep.
So Bengals all the way. I'm dropping that guy.
You weren't impressed with 0 points, 100 yards, an interception, and a fumble? Those don't jump off the page?
No.
Those aren't great stats?
It was nauseating to watch. I almost lost to the Catoosa Goofs, okay? No one loses to them.
You can't lose to a guy whose team name is Goofs.
But my quarterback had 0 points, and I still won by 30. So, anyway, we're both taking the Bengals. Not a super interesting game, but a matchup of 3-1 teams.
Yeah.
Not teams that I think are any threat to win the Super Bowl or anything, but good teams the first month of the season. An interesting one is the Ravens at the Browns.
Yes.
We are both taking the Ravens. Now, here's something that the Baltimore defensive coordinator, Don Martindale, said that Baker is this generation's Favre and Elway.
Oh, my gosh. It makes me sick.
Timeout, Mr. Martindale. Did Baker complete a pass with his left hand? Did Baker have the arm strength that Patrick Mahomes does? No, he does not. You watched this generation's Elway, and it was in Denver on Monday night. Baker does not have the talent of Patrick Mahomes. He is elusive. He might be good, but he's not this generation's Elway. He's not this generation's Favre. Maybe if he makes some mistakes in his career, he's made them so far. No. I know you can say that to your guys to get them, excited. We're playing this guy. This generation's Hall of Fame quarterback plays in Kansas City, not in Cleveland. Get it right. That is ridiculous.
I have nothing to add to that. Did you write that down?
No. But don't tell me that Baker is Elway. No. First of all, he plays in Cleveland. They haven't had a quarterback since Bernie Kosar. He's 60.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. Baker's getting so many compliments. He lost in Oakland. He can't take a snap when it matters. Did that happen?
Yeah.
It happened.
That definitely happened. I have nothing to add to that.
I think he's a good quarterback. I think Baker's proved enough to be respected, but he is not John Elway, and he is not Brett Favre. There is one of those guys in the league right now. His name's Patrick Mahomes, and I'm not saying that because I'm a Chiefs fan. Look at what his talent is.
Yeah.
He's fully capable of being that guy.
As a Broncos fan on Monday night, I was not comfortable for a snap. When Alex Smith was out there, I was like, okay, maybe we can trick Alex Smith into something. But no, Von Miller couldn't get to this guy. When Von Miller got to him, he threw it with his left hand.
Yeah.
He switched hands.
Yeah.
And I do want to add, when he had that rushing touchdown. He went in the end zone and hit a step back 3. That just offended me.
I'll have fun with that for the next 15 years because I know I'm going to. That's the game we're going to talk about, is Jacksonville in Arrowhead on Sunday.
Yep.
I'm taking the Jaguars.
Taking the Chiefs.
Why do I take the Jaguars, Logan?
Because you always pick against the Chiefs, Reed.
And
they always win.
That's why I'm taking the Jags. The interesting storyline in this game is the Jacksonville Jaguars, Jalen Ramsey,
versus Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill. Who wins that matchup? Who has the better game?
That's a tough one. I think Tyreek, because Jalen Ramsey doesn't have the speed to keep up with him, but it depends on how much pressure's on Patrick Mahomes. If Tyreek Hill has enough time to break away, Tyreek Hill wins the matchup. But if Patrick Mahomes is under pressure a lot, Jalen Ramsey's probably going to win.
Well, Jacksonville has one of the best defenses all around in the National Football League. Jalen Ramsey is the best corner. I will give him that. Tyreek Hill is the fastest guy in the National Football League. Whatever his name, Allen or whatever, Ross, whatever his name is, doesn't matter. In the football speed, the guy that can break away and has the moves is Tyreek Hill. Don't trash talk Tyreek Hill. Sure, he may not be the best route runner, but if they go deep and he hits him with that step, Jalen Ramsey can't catch Tyreek Hill. No one can.
I was going to say, there's no one.
And so far, no one can. No one. When you look at what he did to Denver when they still had that elite secondary, they couldn't stop it.
Yeah.
So Jalen Ramsey, I would watch out because when they play within 10 yards, Jalen Ramsey's going to win that matchup all the time. He's a lot bigger. He's more physical. He can dominate that in the 10 yards, but he could easily be burned by Tyreek Hill. So we will see. So you're taking
the Chiefs.
I'm taking the Jags just because that's tradition and we're undefeated.
Yeah.
Vikings and Eagles, a matchup of the NFC Championship game. I'm taking the Eagles.
I'm taking the Vikings.
Because
I believe in Kirk Cousins still. Don't know why, but I believe in Kirk Cousins.
Well, there's two men in this world that believe in Kirk Cousins. You and the guy who gave him $84 million. Outside of those two, I don't know anyone who believes in him.
I do. That's all that matters.
Okay. Chris doesn't even believe in him. Chris is a Vikings fan. So we're both taking, or I'm taking the Eagles, you're taking the Vikings. I think that the Eagles defense finally shows up and they give Kirk Cousins a lot of problems in the pocket on Sunday. Rams at Seahawks.
Rams.
Whoa. Ugh. The Seahawks, Earl Thomas rides off into the sunset and gives Pete Carroll the middle finger salute. I don't know that the Seahawks are very good, and that,
especially without Earl Thomas,
the Rams are going to
annihilate
the Seahawks in Seattle. The NFC West has officially changed hands for good for at least 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Sean McVay is so good. Raiders at Chargers.
I'm taking the Chargers. I picked the Raiders last week to get a win, and that's the only win I'm giving them all year.
They're going 1-15.
Maybe.
Well, Gruden got that first win in a decade. I'm going Chargers as well. I think Phillip Rivers is just too much for the Raiders to handle. John Gruden still hasn't found that pass rusher. I wonder why.
I wonder where he is.
Mystery. I don't think the Raiders are very good.
No.
Derek Carr, there was so much hype around him.
He's taken he took a step back last year, and he's kind of stayed in that area.
Yeah, I mean, so over the weekend, or on Monday night, we'll have a show. But Brees has a chance to get, if he gets 4 touchdowns, he gets 500. He's 201 yards from becoming the all-time passing leader.
He'll do both.
He will do both on Monday night. We covered every other thing that I want to talk about. That Ravens defensive coordinator. Come on, man. All right, we have to take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk about our fantasy segment. Sometimes it goes well, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah.
We've been a little hit and miss, but we will be right back on One-on-One Ocean Student Radio, KXUY Suddenlink, Channel 112.
One-on-One is brought to you by Oklahoma Christian University. Get your master's degree in accounting, business administration, theology, engineering, computer science, or cybersecurity from Oklahoma Christian University. Apply at oc.edu/grad. Oklahoma University is committed to offering the best graduate school experience we possibly can. Come learn and grow with us. And The Table. Stop by The Table on Thursdays at 8 p.m. to join their Bible study. Shoot Rachel an email at rachel@thetableosu.com for more information. We'll be right back.
my mind, I was never going to walk right again. Before we were through, we had walked 23 steps. And that was my first steps of freedom. This patient is saying thank you.
Wide suddenly, Channel 112. As you see, Jared Goff, what he did in one of the first weeks of the NFL season, tearing apart the Oakland Raiders on Monday Night Football. That's who I'm going to start this week. We're going to start with the starts, and then we'll get into sit 'em. Start Jared Goff this week at Seattle, because what we just talked about. Seattle's not very good. They lost Earl Thomas. What do they have left? Can you name somebody besides Oklahoma State Flowers on Seattle's defense?
Bobby Wagner's still there, right?
No, he's in Oakland, I believe, right?
I have no idea. Let's find out real quick. I thought he was still there. He probably isn't.
He might be. But anyway, start Jared Goff. Last week, 39.3 points.
Yeah.
This week, projected 17.9.
Bobby Wagner is still in Seattle, but he's out this week. So
okay, so no, basically. I think that Jared Goff's going to have a big week in Seattle. 17.9 points is just a projection. I think he hits 30 again.
Yeah.
I think he goes through the air a ton in the first half. When they get in that second half, they're just going to feed Gurley him, and Seattle's not going to be able to stop it. Rams win big. Jared Goff has a ton of fantasy points. And Ben Roethlisberger against Atlanta. Start everyone for the Falcons on offense and start everyone for the Steelers on offense because there's no defense to be had in that game. Start Big Ben.
True.
Last week, only 14.9 against the Ravens. A terrible defense in Atlanta. He's projected 20. I think he goes far and away above 25 points.
Yeah, in my starts, I'm going with not a conventional start. I'm going with Blake Bortles. Big Blake is my new nickname for him. He's going up against your Kansas City Chiefs. And Reed, how good is the Kansas City defense?
They are awful.
They are not very good, to say the least. He's projected at 19.2 points, but against New England, when they were still having some defensive troubles, 32.5 points. Against the New York Jets, 24.3 points. Expect numbers like that. Don't expect the 19 points. I'm shooting for him to go well above 25. And then Matt Ryan, like you said, start every Falcons player on offense. So Matt Ryan is another start of mine at quarterback against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They are the 30th ranked defense against quarterbacks. They haven't given up less than 29.3 points in fantasy against a quarterback. So look for Matt Ryan to have a really, really big game. And then you want to just jump into your running backs?
Yeah, James Conner. The Falcons, awful on defense. Steelers, awful on defense. James Conner last week wasn't electric, 6.4 points. He's projected 17. He might go above 20. The Falcons are terrible on defense. They can't stop anyone. And the Steelers have been scoring on good defenses. I know they're not a great team, but they have a really good offense. They have a lot of weapons. And James Conner is going to be active on Sunday, score a lot of points. And TJ Yeldon, for much of what you said about the Chiefs defense, they get gashed. Denver was running all over them until the smart coaching staff of Denver decided to quit running and put the game in Case Keenum's hands. How'd that work out? Not well. That was an unnecessary jab at you.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
TJ Yeldon, he's in for Leonard Fournette, but he's going to run all over that Kansas City Chiefs defense.
Yeah, and Matt Breida, he hasn't had a bunch of good. He hasn't been able to put together a string of good games. Week 1, 5.1. Week 2, 21.9. Week 3 against the Chiefs, 11.7. And last week, just 7.1. But he is going up against the worst defense against the run in all of the National Football League, the Arizona Cardinals.
They're terrible.
Look for him to have a big game. And Christian McCaffrey coming off a bye week. Carolina's kind of figured out how to get Christian McCaffrey going as far as rushing goes. You know, his rookie year, he was more of a pass threat than a rushing threat. But week 3 before the bye week against Cincinnati, had 184 rushing yards. I'm not saying he's going to do that against the Giants, but the Giants are, again, they give up a lot of points to running backs. They give up about an average of 24.4 points to running backs. So look for Christian McCaffrey to beat his 15.3 projection.
All right, now Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
Who's going to catch it from Jared Goff?
Cooper Kupp.
Cooper Kupp is going to have a big game in Seattle. 28.2 points last week, only projected 10 this week. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
He's going way over 20. Book it here, Logan. That Rams offense gets you so many fantasy points,
Yep.
it's not even funny. And Juju Smith-Schuster, why?
play
Because
the
the Falcons are bad on defense. I know Liam's behind the camera probably agreeing with me, not liking what I'm saying, but if he's a Falcons fan, we can all get behind
Zach somewhere.
Zach somewhere not.
Grinding his teeth.
Yeah, that defense is not very good. Last week, 6 points. He's projected 11.12. Juju Smith-Schuster. I think he has a lot more than that on Sunday.
You want to hear one that's even crazier than that? Calvin Ridley's projected at 7.4 points. He has definitely become the number one, at least scoring option for the Falcons since week 2.
Does Julio still play for the Falcons?
I think he does, yeah.
You might want to tell the Falcons coaching staff.
Yeah.
Sark might want to see who's on his roster.
Yeah. Calvin Ridley's had 6 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. And
Jeez.
Yeah. 1 in week 2, 3 in week 3, and 2 last week. And
whoa.
And like we've been saying, the Steelers and the Falcons not good on defense.
No.
How many points do you
it.
think the Steelers give up on average to wide receivers?
Fantasy points?
Yeah.
22.
32.6.
Whoa.
Yeah, so start your Falcons receivers. Even Julio Jones, they might remember they have him this week. He might get a touchdown for the first time in forever.
I'd say check his Twitter, but according to social media, he doesn't play for the Falcons. Anyways.
Yeah, and then my other wide receiver is Adam Thielen. I think he's going to be a key. That's why I picked the Vikings. I think Adam Thielen's going to have a big game. The Philadelphia, the Eagles, they give up 29.6 points to wide receivers, and Thielen's averaging around 14.4 points. I think he's going to go over that.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. And Austin Hooper, why? Steelers aren't very good. Projected 5.9 points. I think everyone has a big day. You're not going to obviously see everyone have these breakout fantasy games, but you're going to see a consistent point, and a tight end's a good place to score 10 or 12 points that can swing your fantasy game. And George Kittle against Arizona. We said a couple weeks ago he had no chance, and he went out and got 18.5 fantasy points. The Cardinals are not very good. They have Patrick Peterson back there, but they're not a good secondary. They're not a good team as a whole.
Right.
Start him. He's projected 6.7. Probably doesn't get 18 like last week, but he has around 10. And once again, that is a good day for a tight end, at least in our league.
Yeah, and, I had the same deal. I had George Kittle. I don't really have anything to add to what you said. I agree with most of what you said. My other guy, and this might not have been a super smart pick, but I'm going with Zach Ertz. He has yet to have a touchdown this season, and I don't think that's going to continue against the Vikings. They're a middle-of-the-pack team. They do okay as far as allowing fantasy points to tight ends go, only 7.7, which is around what you'd normally see. He's projected at 9.9. I would put him at 12, 13, so start Zach Ertz.
Well, we're going to go into sit 'em now.
Yep.
The guys who are not going to have a good week, at least by our account, and sometimes that does not come out to be true.
Yeah.
But sitting here on Friday, I'm going to tell you to sit Eli Manning, and I am fairly confident that that is not bad advice.
You should do that for the season. That's a season-long bit of advice.
Yeah, Eli Manning is not very good, and he hasn't been for a while. At Carolina, a good defense. Last week, 14.7 points, projected 12.8 this week. I don't know that he gets 0 like Ryan Tannehill last week, but it is not going to be pretty for Eli Manning. He needs to go in fantasy and in real football. It's got to go.
Yeah.
And Case Keenum, playing the Jets. As bad as the Jets are, they have a good defense. Jamal Adams, I don't think the culture changed quite just yet. They got to get rid of Todd Bowles before they really get anything done. And I think just about anyone can agree with that. When you have Sam Darnold, Savior Sam needs an offensive coordinator or an offensive guy as the head coach for him to be truly successful. The Jets have talent, but not that much talent. But they have enough to slow down Case Keenum, which most of Case Keenum's problems are Case Keenum.
Yes.
But he's projected 12.7. I don't think he gets over 10 against the Jets. I still think the Jets probably go down, but I don't think it's by a big performance behind Case Keenum.
Yeah, and I'm going with Deshaun Watson for the sit. He's been inconsistent this year. He's thrown an interception every game so far. And Dallas, despite their lack of offense, are actually a pretty decent fantasy. They only allow 17 points in fantasy against quarterbacks. So with his inconsistencies, and he's projected at 19.2, I think that's just a little too high. And it could turn ugly for Deshaun Watson this week. And then Andy Dalton, not a world beater, not going to go out there and win you a Super Bowl, but he's a decent fantasy quarterback at least for our league. The Dolphins are another surprisingly good fantasy defense. They only allow 12.5 points to quarterbacks. He's projected at 17.5. That's still a little too high for me.
Now the running backs. Chris Carson, an Oklahoma State guy, but he's playing that front of the Rams. Last week, 0 points, projected 9.5. I don't think he gets anywhere close to 9 this week. And Nick Chubb against Baltimore, another good defense. A guy, Brandon Williams, a Moso guy, Terrell Suggs, they have a really good defense as well. Last week, 22.5 points against the Raiders. He's projected 1.8 this week.
I'm going with Carlos Hyde. A lot of his fantasy production comes from the fact that he can score touchdowns. Baltimore has only allowed 1 touchdown to a running back all season. I think that's going to limit him. And then your guy, Kareem Hunt. Denver's plan early on was to kind of let him run around, so he had a pretty good week. I don't think Jacksonville's going to do that. I think Jacksonville's going to focus on stopping the run, and he will not have a good week.
To the wide receiver, Sammy Watkins. He's a little banged up. I think he is going to play. Last week, 0 points in Denver, projected 7.9 this week. Maybe he has a couple catches, but I don't think he has an influence on the game, and I don't think he has any fantasy points this week.
And I'm going with Golden Tate. Who they play Green Bay. Green Bay's not terrible. They're along the middle of the pack, but only allowing 23.4 points to all wide receivers, not just one. So I think you're going to see Golden Tate's production limited. And then Robert Woods, he's not the touchdown guy in LA. We kind of talked about that. We think that's Cooper Kupp. So I think that's going to limit his performance this week. But Earl Thomas being gone could make a difference.
Yeah, it's certainly going to make a difference. My other wide receiver is Sterling Shepard against Carolina. Why? Eli Manning's throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
Another good, like we said with that Carolina defense, they're good. 15.7 points last week against the Saints. Projected 7.3 this week. If anyone gets points for those receivers, it's going to be Odell, and I'm not even so sure that happens.
Yeah.
I say sit Sterling Shepard.
And going to tight ends, I'm saying this is the first Pittsburgh or Falcons player I've sat this week. Sit Vance McDonald. They just don't go to him enough. And if Atlanta's going to stop anyone, it's going to be the tight end. So
if they stop.
Yeah, if they can stop anyone.
Big IF there.
Yeah.
Antonio Gates against Oakland. As bad as Oakland is, they have a somewhat decent secondary. Antonio Gates is old. The Raiders have seen this so many times. He has a hard time in the AFC West because we've seen it time and time again. Last week, 8.7 points. This week, projected 5.6. I go way below that. And Travis Kelce.
Wow.
There's just so many weapons in that offense, and I don't think Sammy Watkins and Travis Kelce make a fantasy impact. Now, I think Travis Kelce has a huge impact on the game.
Yes.
I don't think he gets in the point. Last week, 13.8, projected 9.9 this week. He's going to be blocking all day Sunday. He's going to have an impact on the game, and he's going to play a pivotal role if the Chiefs want to win, but it's not going to be by getting in the end zone.
Okay, and I just can't believe you picked against a Chiefs guy. But anyway, Jordan Reed, New Orleans, only gives up 4.5 fantasy points a game, and he hasn't had double digits since week 1, I believe. Alex Smith and that offense really haven't figured out what they want to do. Is it all Adrian Peterson? Who knows? Sit Jordan Reed.
Yeah, Alex Smith, man, I thought I was going to miss him.
No?
I don't.
Of course you don't. Reed, you have Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah. Not this generation's Elway, but yeah, I do miss Alex Smith. Is there a guy this week that we didn't name that you see having just a breakout performance, kind of like Calvin Ridley did the other day where no one saw it coming and then all of a sudden everyone wants him? It's fair to say no because it's hard to do that.
I'm obviously not very good at finding those guys because I said sit Calvin Ridley after that one big week, so don't ask me.
Yeah, you said sit him after that one big week. And how many touchdowns did you say he had so far?
2 since that week. He's had 6 total.
6 in the last 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Got an offense with Julio Jones. That is crazy. So we do have to get out here and take a quick break. We're going to come back and talk all about baseball.
All right.
We have a Red Sox guy on set, and we have our guy
Yankees
from Long Island, Jason Colicchio, who's big week as a Yankees fan.
Yep.
Boston Red Sox versus the New York Yankees. It doesn't get much better than that baseball. We're going to break down every series when we come back. We're going to take a quick break, and we will see you back on 101 Osho Student Radio, KXUI Sunlink Channel 112.
Brought to you by Oklahoma Air National Guard. Contact Oklahoma Air National Guard at 800-GO-TO-ANG or visit their website at goang.com/OK for more information about how to get 100% college tuition. And Unitarian Universalist Church. If you're looking for a church home, visit Unitarian Universalist Church of Stillwater, located at 320 South Stallard Street. They offer an alternative spiritual path and welcome all races, religions, and beliefs. They're also LGBTQ friendly. Services every Sunday at 10:30. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to One-on-One on Ocean Student Radio, KXUY Sunlink Channel 112. We are live from Studio 318 as you're seeing the New York Yankees celebrate a wild card win over the Oakland Athletics. Let's get into it, Logan. The Red Sox and the Yankees, arguably the greatest rivalry in sport, definitely in baseball.
Yeah.
Now, I asked our Yankees guy here, Jason, our floor director, I asked him the other day, because I saw this on ESPN. I didn't come up with this. But since that 2004 ALCS, when the Red Sox came back from 3-1, you get the bloody sock from Curt Schilling. That's the shining moment for the Red Sox.
For sure.
Since that moment, the Yankees have been to and won one World Series, and since then the Red Sox have been 2-3 and won 3.
Yeah.
Did that ALCS change the tide of the rivalry? Now let's get something straight. The Red Sox will never be the New York Yankees.
Right.
Because the Yankees have – the Red Sox traded Babe Ruth, okay, to the Yankees.
Yeah.
That's what they're famous for. The curse of the Bambino, okay? They can have all the World Series. They can win 10 in a row. But the Yankees will be the most prominent sports franchise forever. They are baseball's teams. You wear a Red Sox hat in China, they'll walk past you. You wear a Yankees hat, they know what that logo means. That's baseball. But since that 2004 ALCS, it seems like things have changed.
I agree. It broke the curse, it seemed. And like you said, they went to 3 and won 3. The Yankees only went to 1 and won 1. So, like you said, they'll never be the Yankees, but I think they've got the Yankees number for now. And we can talk about that in a second.
So, does that mean now Chris Sale is on the mound tonight against J.A. Happ? I know even Colicchio's having a hard time with thinking the Yankees can beat Chris Sale. He doesn't think that David Price should even show up. Now, you look at the history of David Price, it's probably an accurate statement. David Price is not electric in the playoffs.
Yep.
David Price is probably going to get hurt on his way to the stadium because he is not good in the playoffs. So I think that is an accurate thing to say that the Yankees, he thinks the Yankees can get there. Now, if the Yankees want to have any success, they're going to have to limit the bats of Boston. That's obvious baseball talk. But Boston can hit the ball really well, better than probably anyone else in baseball. They're going to have to play their best to beat the Red Sox. They're 10-9, the Red Sox are, against the Yankees. The only team to have a winning record over the Yankees this year. Aaron Boone, Brian Cashman, they put together a good team. Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge. If they can,
a lot of home runs.
If they go 2 games in Yankee Stadium, I think if they go 5, I think the Yankees have a chance. But in Fenway, I just have a hard time seeing the Yankees be able to beat the Red Sox in 5 games.
Yeah, I still think they have their number. I think the Red Sox are going to end up winning this series. I don't even think it'll go 5 games. Do you think it's going to go 5?
I think it goes 5. Now, what did I just say? I have a hard time seeing the Yankees beat the Red Sox.
Yeah.
I'm going to flip the script.
Okay.
The New York Yankees will win in 5 games. They will win Game 5 in Fenway. The Yankees will not just stop at the ALDS. They will not stop at the ALCS.
Oh.
They will go to the World Series. Now, here's why. They've got the bats. They don't have the world's best pitching.
Yeah.
We saw what CC Sabathia did. He threw it at a guy, didn't care, his teammate. They have a really cohesive team in New York. Aaron Boone, what's he famous for? That 2003 ALCS,
Yeah.
see you later, Red Sox. He knows how to beat the Red Sox because he's been a part of history. You go into that clubhouse, you show that video. You can beat the Boston Red Sox for one reason and one reason only. You are the New York Yankees. The Yankees have been down and out long enough. This is 2004. The tide is shifting back to the pinstripes. Absolutely. The Yankees, I am buying in. Colicchio has got me fired up for the
Jason's
New York
fired
Yankees.
up over there.
The Yankees right now. It came over me right now. The pinstripes, it's time for the Yankees to be the best team in baseball. It's time to have 28 in the Bronx. It is happening now. The Red Sox, what do the Red Sox do when they're always the best team in baseball? It seems to me David Ortiz is gone. That magic that you think that you have, over.
See, they don't think it's over. They went 10-9 against them, and in the last 57 games, they're 29-28 against the Yankees. I think they still
That's
think
a one-game split. It's not like they're dominating the
I know,
Yankees.
but they still think they have their number. What was it before that? I mean, it probably wasn't. I don't have the exact number in front of me, and I'm not expecting you to, but I'm going to guess it was a lot more lopsided towards the Yankees before the turn in 2003 or 4.
Yeah, I mean, the Yankees went to 6 of 8
Yeah.
World Series before that.
I mean, I'm just looking at the Red Sox roster, and I know the regular season doesn't matter come postseason, but they won 108 games. That's hard to do.
Oh, it's hard to do, but the Yankees won 100. I mean, 108 games. Listen, Boston was one of the best teams, if not the best team in baseball, for 162. But that's why you play playoff baseball. A lot of times that goes right out the window, and I think it goes out the window now. I still think it goes 5, and I think they're close games. But when Judge and Stanton, earlier in the year against the Red Sox, they were awful. Stanton couldn't hit the Red Sox to save his life. You look at Fenway just a week ago, he's going yard. Judge is going to go yard. The New York Yankees are going to take over playoff baseball. They've been gone too long. It's been too long. 2009. Way too long for the Yankees to be down and out. Aaron Boone has beat the Red Sox as a player. He beats them as a manager. The New York Yankees don't stop here. I'm calling it now, and I could be wrong. I'm wrong a lot, Logan. You know that.
Yeah.
But I just have a feeling that the New York Yankees are back.
Well, I'm just as wrong as you most of the time, so I could be wrong. But, I mean, do you know what the current Yankees roster is hitting against Sale? And I know he won't be pitching every game, but do you know what they're hitting against him?
As a team?
As a team.
Probably 198.
193. Aaron Judge is 3 for 18. He's batting 167.
Well, hey, I get that Chris Sale's good, and he's good in the playoffs, but
And I know it's not going to be him out there every night, but...
Yeah, but, I mean, he could win 2 games, and that can make a big difference. Now, we're going to 5. And there's no, proof behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why what I'm saying is so subjective. I just have a feeling that it's the Yankees' time. Because now, although the Yankees have 27, and a lot of them came with the greats like Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, Mickey Mantle. But I'm not comparing Stanton and Judge to those guys. But it's time for the New York Yankees to be great again. And Aaron Boone, I saw that highlight, and I came to me when we started talking about this. It's over.
So let me ask you this. Excluding the World Series, because I think that's obviously no matter what the best series in the playoffs. Is this the best series?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the Boston Red Sox against the New York Yankees. Fenway, and I know it's new Yankee Stadium, but it's still Yankee Stadium. It's still in the Bronx. This is it right here. We only have 2 minutes left. We spent way too much time on them, but that's what it's about in baseball. Everyone cares about this series.
Yes.
Whether you're a diehard Yankees fan or a diehard Red Sox fan.
Or just a baseball fan.
Just a baseball fan. This is the series you want to see. I wish it was in the ALCS.
Yeah.
All right, Cleveland at Houston. Corey Kluber's on the mound right now. No longer, actually, he got taken out of the game. Verlander starts. Last time I checked, it was 5-0.
Yeah.
I think the Astros take this. They sweep 4-0 in the top of the 6th. I think that they sweep the Cleveland Indians.
I agree. I think Cleveland missed their window a couple of years ago when they were in the World Series against the Cubs. As much as it hurts me to say, Cleveland, your best chance is at the Browns.
Oh, ouch.
Yeah.
And you're sadly probably right. Atlanta at Los Angeles. Atlanta won last night.
Yeah.
Big, beat the Braves. I mean, they're up 1-0. I wouldn't listen. Kershaw hasn't even pitched yet. I wouldn't be surprised if the Dodgers sweep. Anibal Sanchez tonight versus Clayton Kershaw. I think the Dodgers go up 2-0 and eventually sweep the Braves.
I agree.
Now, Colorado, Milwaukee. My old Royals guy, Mike Moustakas, walked off in the bottom of the 10th to beat the Rockies yesterday. They're playing again today.
It's in the top of the first, 0-0 right now. But I felt like the Rockies, they missed a big chance to win a game yesterday. They definitely could have won that game. And I'm not saying like they can't win a game now, but it's extremely unlikely that they're going to win another game or a game at all.
All right, so Rocktober is officially over for you. The New York Yankees are back, at least according to me. And I may be wrong. If I'm wrong, Jason's probably not going to be very happy. But we will see. We'll talk about it all about Monday. Thank you for watching 101. Get out to Boone Pickens at 2:30 and cheer on the Cowboys. We will see you Monday. You've been watching 101 on Ocean Student Radio, KXUI, Sunlink, Channel 112.
Determining your future by selecting a major can be difficult.
It's okay to be undecided.
Connect with the College of Arts and Sciences, where your options are endless.
Where you can uncover your passions and achieve your goals.
Express your creativity by exploring a career in the visual and performing arts.
Investigate new discoveries to make the world a better place with a career in science.
Advance knowledge, communicate progress, and contribute to a healthier planet with a career rooted in the social sciences.
Discover your career by looking at the world from different perspectives through the humanities.
Realize a better tomorrow through problem solving and mining data that can change lives.
Cast for Crazy to succeed through internships, study abroad, student-guided research projects, and service activities.
With 109 majors, 52 minors, and 24 departments, the only thing missing is you. College of Arts and Sciences.
Connect.
Achieve. Succeed.
When you have a team of physicians and nurses that really truly care about their patients, that translates into patient care.
It's a small practice, it's a small town. Everybody really takes that time to put the patient first.
Everybody cares what's happening to me and that I'm making progress and I'm gaining my freedom back and my mobility back. This patient is saying thank you.
This spring, I invite you to shop in downtown Stillwater. Downtown Stillwater is home to locally owned shops, boutiques, eateries, and dependable professionals that you can trust. Find the perfect gift for your graduate, have a delicious meal with mom, or just stop in to enjoy great spring savings. By creating a demand for local goods and services, you can ensure a place for the local businesses that help give our community character and keep it unique. On behalf of downtown Stillwater, thank you for shopping local.